Hi guys, this will be Module 3, Topic 2 review. Sorry about the picture, how it's a little bit different. I had to take a picture of my notebook where I had all my notes, and I'm going to break from there. So the first one is we want to write the radical or write it in radical or rational exponent form. So if you can see it, we're going to go from this form to make it a little bit, just being able to rewrite it. Now, when you do this on your quiz test, make sure you are using the f of x button, which should be in your text box. If not, expand it using this button. I believe it's 1 or 2. I can't remember of those little arrows or V's, and it will bring it in and it will make it a whole lot easier. So what we are going to do, so what we want to do is this 3 is going to go inside the square root. So square root of 3. Now this number on top stays there. The bottom number of the fraction goes on the outside. Wow, I haven't used this color. It's very bright. Sorry about that, guys. I'm trying to work with it. Let's see if purple may do it. Now, if we start with the next one, same thing with x. We want it in the square root. 2 stays with it. 3 is going to go in front. It's not going to go in front of the square root like this. No, you do not want that. We want it a little bit above it. Have you ever seen it in your calculator? We don't use it very much in IM 1 or 2, but later on you have to use it. Now the next line, these are just going backwards. So we know we have the 7. So we're going to make a big 7, and we're going to take that number that's with it, goes on top, and this number in front goes on the bottom. Now, the next one, and this is one they do like to have, if it doesn't have a number, it has an imaginary 2 right there. Square root, square, it's going to be in there. So we're going to write it x 3 over 2. You can write it as a different fraction, it's fine, but this is how I write it. Okay, so the next ones we're going to do is simplify. I like to do the tree branch one, makes it a little easier. So 2 times 100. 2 can't be reduced any further, so I'm going to go this one. 100, we can do 10 times 10, it's fine. You can do it that way. You can do 2 times 50. You can do 4 times 25. Whatever one you want, doesn't matter what you start with. When you get down to the end, you're going to get the same thing. Now, my hint on this one, and I know this is different than other teachers, you're going to circle a pair, cross one off. And we're only looking for the numbers at the bottom of these little arrows. Circle a number, cross one off. Only pairs. So this one is left out. Since it's left out, it's going to stay inside the square root. And you're going to multiply these two numbers, 5 times 2, goes in the front. That's it. Now, these two, you could reduce them together, then multiply them. Since they're both square roots, I'd rather multiply them first. So 10 times 12, it's 120. I'm just going to break it up the same number. 2 times 5, 2 times 6, 2 times 3. If you want to, you can always cross off the numbers that you reduced. Circle a pair. Doesn't even have to be next to each other, okay? That's the nice thing. Doesn't have to be next to each other. Just 2 of a kind. Cross one off. And the 2 of a kind means because there's a 2 out here, you're looking for 2 of a kind. If there was 3, 3 of a kind. So we have a 2, but we did not reduce 3 of the numbers. Couldn't reduce those. So the 2 is going to go in the front, and you're going to multiply all of those numbers together. So 5 times 2 is 10, 10 times 3 is 30. And that will be your answer. Same thing with the next ones. So I'm going to just multiply it together, make it a little bit easier. 3 times 60, 3 times 6 is 18, add a 0. Okay, the only thing different is that 2 this time, and I'll show you how to do it. So I'm going to go 18 and 10. Anything that ends in a 0, make it easy on yourself. 2 times 9, 3 times 3. I'm going to cross those off just because I know I did them. 2 times 5. Circle your pairs, cross one off. Circle your pairs, cross one off. So we're going to multiply the pairs. So 2 times 3 is 6. Okay, I'm going to go up to the top. Sorry, you guys. Running out of room. I can't write in the white. So we're going to get 6 square root of what I have left, was just the 5. And we can't forget about that 2. I'm going to put the 2 in front, and all you're going to do is multiply those two numbers, 2 times 6. So the answer is 2 square root of 5. Or 12 square root of 5. Sorry, I forgot the 1. There, that's it. So those are going to be exponentials, simplify square roots, which does come in handy when we get on to quadratic formula. But that will be module 4. Okay, so let's go to the next ones. These are going to be compound interest. These are the exponentials. If you notice, we'll keep going. Here's the formula you're going to use, and usually they're going to give you it every single time. Okay? Now, P of O is our original amount. Okay? P of O is the original. Plus or minus means, are we increasing our money or are we losing money? So increasing means if you put money in the bank, you're saving money. The minus would be if you bought a brand new car and as soon as you drove it off the lot, you're losing your money. So that's how you're going to do it. And T, it's raised to the T, that's time. Oh, big thing on this one. So the R, that's a big one. Make sure you're taking the percentage, divide it by 100. You want it as a decimal. You do not want to be 2.1%, which is the next problem. All right, so on this one, whoops, sorry, it got darker. My cord came out. Okay, so we're going to just write the equation and then find the answer. So we're going to write P of T equals our original amount, so 1,127. And we're depositing it. So we're going to go 1 plus. Now I'm going to do that 2.1 divided by 100, or move the decimal 2 to the left. 0, 2, 1. And we want to raise it to 5 years. Here's where you're going to want your calculator, and you're going to plug it in. Now, to raise it to the 5 power, you're going to use that little caret button. The caret just looks like that. Okay, so if you put it in, so 1127, then parentheses 1 plus 0.0221. I put the wrong number. And some certain calculators, you can put it straight in. If you don't have a calculator, go to Desmos, plug it in. Works the exact same way. They'll give you your answer. Raise it to the 5th. And in 5 years, if you have a 2.1% and you don't put any extra money in, you are going to get that much money. So $1,250.41. Remember, this is not adding more money in. Okay. Now the next ones, they want you to explain. Okay? Explain. So here, if you notice with both of them, they are starting at 3,300. Now, this number is bigger than 1. This number down here is less than 1. And remember, we have that 1 in the equation. So since this is bigger than 1, the top one is bigger than 1, we want to go 19.19, just times it by 100, and it's going to tell us that it's a 19% increase. Okay? It's going up by 19%. Since this one, 0.85, is less than 1, I'm going to find out 1 minus 0.85, and that's going to give me 0.15, times it by 100. So this is 15%, and that's 15% decrease. Just find out what the difference is from 1 on these two, and then times it by 100, you get your percent. So on the test and on the quiz, they're going to ask you, what is it increasing by? What is it decreasing by? That's all you do. Find out how different it is from 1. Okay, last one on this one, it says use Desmos to graph exponents and see how they change. So this is very similar to topic 1, where you're going to want to use Desmos. So here I have the first equation. I'm going to use my laser pointer. So here is 2 of x. 2 to the x, sorry. 2 to the x. Now, if I want, this one, if I add, come on, doesn't want to do it. Okay, so if I put a minus 3, just like before, if it's with the x, it's the opposite. So this means it's going to go to the right 3, and that's how you're going to explain it. Okay, it just means, and it's only one number difference. It's only one number difference from our original equation, okay? So looking at these two, it's only one number difference. So you're only telling me one thing. So this one is just going to say, you're going to the right 3. Now again, this one is a 3. It is a minus. Come on. There we go. But we can see it went down 3. You may not know how many numbers it went down, but we do know that it went down, and we can see with this number, it is a 3. That number tells us how much we go left, right, up, or down. All right, so our last one, we have 2 numbers difference. We have this number and this number. So we have to say 2 things that are different. So for the first one, that minus 4 is very similar to this one up here, where it went to the right 4. We could see the graph moved quite a bit. And plus 2, we can see it went up. So from here to here, it did go up. So up 2. And if you can't figure out that, what you can do, and let me see. There we go. Let's see. Where is, nope. Okay. If you can always get rid of this and see how it moves. So let me flip my computer around. I can get rid of the 2, plus 2, and we can see it did move to the right 4. And then plus 2 just means it went up 2. Okay, hopefully you guys were able to figure out that. Try the quiz, work on doing your notes. Definitely use Google. Remember, you definitely want to use this f of x button. It'll save you in the long run because you will have to write how did one change to the other, and then you will have to simplify. You will have some examples of all of them. So good luck.